Hi everyone, Frankie from easypowerwall.com. Indeed, it's a few weeks since I posted my last video. We faced a serious heatwave here in Belgium and I wasn't able to create or edit any movie. Not a good reason to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any video or any content. Today I want to talk about the installation of the hardware just behind me. 6 months ago, when it was freezing cold, I installed the plywood, the inverters and the chargers. And of course all the cable gutters. I will take you through that process. I hope it will be very interesting and helpful for your future install. If you have questions, don't hesitate, use the comment box. I'll be happy to answer them. Enjoy the movie. When starting a new build, it's always nice to start from a blank canvas. I removed the breaker box, inverter and charger from the previous 18650 Powerwall. Always be careful when removing cabling. Some can still be under load, like the AC in for the inverter. Always double check. Screwed 4 crossbars on the back of the concrete plywood and attached the whole setup to the wall. Millimeter Man Rudy came to the rescue and gave me a hand.
Zie je? Snelheid in. Ja.
The Victron is hanging in this small metal frame. So you have to drill 3 holes and it comes with 3 screws. I don't know if pre-drilling is required, but I'm just gonna drill a very small hole of 2 mm and then attach it with the screws that are delivered with the Victron. The screws delivered from Victron are not that long, but they're pretty thick. See, just checking. Yeah. I don't know if it's specified in the manual, but the best fit for these screws is the PH3. Kan je niet zien? Verschuiving is goed. Eens een keer gewoon zakken op hier. Oké. Nee. Oké. Thanks mate. Another milestone. Yesterday I removed the Victron inverter just to have the same measurements on the other side. Time to hang it back and include the second one as well. Both inverters installed. Now I can start cabling the AC part and then I will connect the DC part. Let's follow me on that journey. Thanks to the extra pair of hands. I mentioned it before, make sure you leave a few centimeters of space because you need access to these screws. I don't know why the engineers of Victron installed the screw at the bottom. It would be much better if it was at the front. This is the tool I use to make the bigger holes in the plastic cable gutter. Of course it's designed for wood, but it works just fine for plastic as well. After thinking and evaluating, I came to the conclusion that the small cable gutter from 40 by 40 won't do the trick. I have one lift from 100, so 10 centimeter, and I will install this one. Ready to install on the wall. Like I said, I'm not only sharing my tips and tricks, also my fails, so you don't have to make them again. So make sure you use a large enough cable gutter horizontally so you can easily make the U-turn and make the connection with the inverter. Made two smaller holes. Now we'll increase to 13 millimeter, and now we'll remove a piece of plastic so the cables can enter from the cable gutter into this vertical cable gutter into the inverter. Just make sure if you have a smaller cable gutter that you don't touch the cables. That would be an expensive mistake. That's large enough for 2 cables. And some spare room for maybe some signaling network cables, so that's okay. As you can see, I have the 2 chargers in place. One will be used later when I have the solar on the roof. And for this charger I have already 12 panels available. So I have the breaker installed. So one breaker is 80 amps and the other incoming is 50 amps. And this is the surge protector. As you can see, I already prepared here a saving for the cable gutter. I'll install the 60 by 60 cable gutter here. So cables from the switchboard will go into the cable gutter and go via this DC cable gutter towards the batteries. This video was all about the installation of the main hardware. Wiring will be in a separate movie. Let's go over all the parts and I give you some tips and tricks so you won't make the same mistake as I did. Let's start with the inverters. What's important here, make sure that your cable gutters are large enough. Mine are 10 centimeter. It's much easier to make a nice U-turn, you won't damage your cable, and it's much easier to install the hardware and the cables. I didn't mention it during this video, but all AC and DC cables are separated. Here you can see I have the AC, but it's blocked for the DC, and here I have the DC, and all cables here at the bottom are DC cables or signaling cables. At the top, not visible right now, are all AC cables. Here I use a 40 by 40, but maybe it's better to use a 60, especially if you use thicker cables. For now I have 2.5 square millimeter, but in a later stage I will most probably upgrade to 4 or 6 millimeter. So this is most important, make sure your cable gutters are large enough. Same for the bottom, I have 2 or 4 70 square millimeter and 4 25 square millimeter, so make sure it's large enough and use enough screws to attach it to the board. Back to the other side of the shelf of the board. It's always a good idea to make a drawing and plan your setup, your layout of your hardware. So here I have the 2 chargers. I have 2 separate sides. So this one is in use and this one will be in use soon. I have to add a few more panels on the roof. So, but make sure you prepare everything and you have something in your mind. Make some drawings so you have a nice idea about the layout of your setup. Here, not visible, but just below, I'll zoom in. Here I have the servo, but I already saved some room for an Ethernet switch that will be installed in the future. So have that in mind. Make sure you know to what solution you're working to. I was lucky. I have a lot of room. I can eventually add a third inverter for a 3-phase system, or I can add an extra charger. So if you have the room, make sure you make your setup as large as possible and make sure you have some room for extra hardware in the future, so you don't have to rebuild your whole system. So this is the top cable gutter. I have all the AC cables. As you can see, I always make a turn. If something happens, I can always reuse a part of the cable, so I don't have to reinstall a whole new cable. But the wiring of the AC and DC will be in a separate movie. It will be very soon published. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and thanks again for watching.